Shelmaliers manager and fellow commentator John Hegarty joins me now after the Shelmaliers. You've qualified successfully for the quarterfinals here in the Dominic Smith Electrical Senior Football Championship following a win over your own parish, I suppose, Kyle Nearan. How did you see the game?
A really, really tough encounter. The scoreline at the end certainly doesn't do justice to what the game was. It took the Shells probably until maybe 10 minutes to go when they actually put on a couple of scores on the second goal, but before that it was an entirely 50-50 game, and really good quality game of football from two teams that were going at it right from the very start. Goal after a couple of minutes, and that set the tone for it.
And certainly in the early stages, Kyle Nearan really looked like the better team, and probably in the first 5 or 10 minutes, I think there were 1-3 to 2 points up, or 1-2 to a point, so it really put you under pressure at the start.
Oh, absolutely. They were really on top of their game, but Kyle Nearan have some good footballers. I think that when you look at the group that it was, it's a really, really tough group, and I think in a lot of other groups, not only would Kyle Nearan have come through, but they'd have been in a position to top the group.
And we saw similar in the hurling, actually, John, when the Shelmaliers and Gorey ended up in the same group as the Rapparees, and they both ended up in the county final, and the Rapparees were finished after a week, and the same has happened now to Kyle Nearan. They've finished their season early, but from their point of view, there's plenty of positives to take, I suppose.
There is, and maybe what people mightn't realise is there's an awful lot of young lads on that Kyle Nearan team. There's two cornerbacks there making their first year at senior. Paddy Hughes, Sean Ford, Michael Malloy. There is loads of good footballers in Kyle Nearan, and the future is bright, and I'm delighted to say that, because I might be involved with the Shells, but I'm from Kyle Nearan, so I certainly would like to see them back where they belong, and that's competing at the latter age stages of senior football.
And in terms of today's game, I suppose when the game was still there to be won, it was Glenn Malone burst through the middle on 2 occasions, I think, following very patient build-up play, but then you injected the pace into the attack at the right occasion. Yeah,
but that's something that we'd spoken about during the week, because Kyle Nearan have a really good defensive structure, and if you think that you're just going to waltz through the middle, that's absolutely not going to happen, and you've got to be patient and wait and probe for the right time and the right run. It didn't work for us loads of times. Like we were looking for it, but it didn't happen. But Glenn did, and he cut through. He picked a great line, great run, and a calm finish at the end of it. And I think because we'd had a bit of possession before that, that really was a sucker punch in the game.
And it was Joey Wadding and Paddy Colfer were on co-commentary with me here during the game, and we made the point that the fact that you were able to run Castletown so close only a few days after, maybe we'll say back taking football seriously after the hurling success for the Shelmaliers, was really a good indication of the talent that the bunch of Shelmaliers players have.
Oh, there's certainly no shortage of talent, but it was a big ask to turn around from, there was a huge focus on hurling for 6, 7, 8 weeks before that, and to turn around in a short space of time, it was a credit to their character. But at the other side, I was worried coming out of here, because we were perfectly lined up for an ambush then. Because of that attitude you're talking about, of that we did so well against Castletown, and then there was a perception, I'm sure it would be Kyle Nearan, but Kyle Nearan were never ever going to let that happen. They're well drilled, and they've got, like I said, good footballers, and so I was really concerned coming in here this evening, and that was borne out for the first 45 minutes of the game.
And we now know 7 of the 8 teams that have qualified for the knockout stages and the quarterfinals of this year's Senior Football Championship, and you've been drawn against Glenbarntown.
Yeah, another really, really tough local derby. Of all of the teams that have qualified, they've qualified they were qualified a week ago, and with 2 very impressive results. So, look, on form, we're happy to come through a really tough group. And I hope that will stand to us. But the scores that they've been putting up, and I was actually down commentating the night they played Sarsfields, and they won by 8 or 9 points, but they also kicked another 20 something wides, so they have the potential to open up any team. Now, having said that, we have a lot of sore and bruised bodies there tonight, so we'll regroup during the week and get ready. But look, it's great. I mean, I heard the hurlers and the hurling managers the whole way through saying it's great, and that's what the lads want. So to recuperate, have a look at what worked and what didn't work, and be ready to go again.
And I suppose there's only going to be one answer from the manager of the team, but can the Shelmaliers be the first team since St Anne's then to do the double?
Have they the ability and the potential to do it? Absolutely. But there's in football, anybody can beat anybody, and you can take that more so this year when it's a condensed championship. It's knockout now, and we won't look any further than Glyn. Glyn will be hurting from the hurling. Like you'll talk about, little subplots, and that's certainly one that Glyn were very disappointed with how their hurling season finished. They've had a chance to regroup, and I'm sure that they're going to be sitting back saying there's no team they'd prefer to play to get a bit of revenge.
Well, it certainly promises to be a very keenly contested quarter-final anyway, and I'm sure to be of a very high standard as your performance was today, John, and congratulations finally then on a very good performance and on qualifying for the knockout stages.
Brilliant. Thanks very much, Peter.